Hi, CMattDye here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you're having a great day. And I want to do my top 5 CNFT projects of the week. And right now we're looking at volume. So we're looking at the latest statistics. You can see this is overall. This is July over here, jumping up and down. So overall, it's up. Volume is. But if you look at the last 30 days, you can see that volume kind of jumped around over this around this 2 million level, 1.5 million, 1 million, and it has actually cratered over the last couple days. If you look at the weekly volume, you can see that. If you look at the last 24 hours, it has been a little bit erratic, which you would expect. So that is basically what we're looking at. Statistics, if you go to the last 7 days, it's down 30%. Last month, so month over month, it is up 23%, and overall you're looking at a pretty healthy market. But over the last week it is down. However, over the last 24 hours it is actually up. So what does that tell me? Nothing really on its own. It does tell me, volume is a little bit low. It is down, but it is actually doing decent even though it is low. And that's one thing that I've been seeing. A lot of ADA is going into either blue chip projects or brand new mints. And we can see with the top 5, we have Claypez at number 1, then Chilled Kongs, Boss Cat Rocket Club, then Seal Society, and Safari Squad. So I want to talk about these. Obviously, their volume is up over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the only one that is down is Chilled Kongs and Safari Squad. Chilled Kongs bounced off of their low recently. Let's get into the actual projects. So Claypez, the floor right now is around 175. All-time high sell at 3.8 thousand. So that's interesting on that one. 1,700 holders out of 6,001. That's not bad. And right now, this is the floor. So to me, it seems like it's still trying to find a floor. I'm not buying, personally. However, if it were to come down, I'd want to see it stay over 120, 130 if it was going to come down. If it were to break 100, that would be a little bit suspect. So that's kind of how I would view this right now. However, it's a very new project. I'm not in it. I didn't mint it. But if you did mint it, you're up over a 2x. So not too bad on that one. Now let's go to Chilled Kongs. I've been talking about Chilled Kongs for a little while now. All-time high sell at 135,000. That is pure fire. Floor right now is at 24.25. I talked about 2,000 to 2,300 was going to be the floor that I would be watching. Once the mushrooms came out, the trippy Kongs, I am looking for it to come down to 1,500 to 1,800. However, prior to that happening, which we don't know when that is happening, they have not said. So that 2,000, 2,300 level is the floor that I'm anticipating. It did come down close to 2,000, 2,050 looks like was the minimum sale here. That's where I would want to jump in at and then ride it up a little bit. If you would have done that, you would be up right now. But that's really what I'm watching. 2,000 to 2,300 is the floor, and then that 2,700 to 3,000 would be the roof. And after those trippy Kongs come out, maybe it does come down a little more. However, once they release that information, I would expect them to go up into that news and then come down when it hits. So that's kind of what I'm thinking on this project. I'm a fan of Chilled Kongs. So next is Boss Cat Rocket Club. All-time high 150,000. Floor right now is at 1248. Holders 4,129 out of a 10K mint. And right now the floor is pretty all over the place. I'm looking at the last 30 days here. Let me go to all. And we can see here that it did pop over 3,000 back here in January. And it's been dropping ever since. Around 1,000 to 1,200, I would think would be a good floor. If it were to come down a little bit more, It could come down to about 950, but I would think that 1000 to 1200 would be a pretty good floor. If it got under 1000, I would be a little suspect, but if it got under 1000, I would see if it could maybe come down to about 700, and that's not what I'm anticipating. But if that were to occur, I'd be buying them for sure. But I do think 1000 to 1200 should be a good floor. If that breaks, it would be interesting. So those are my thoughts on that right now. Steel Society is an interesting one, and right now it's trying to hold that floor, the 183 with a minimum sell of 160. If it holds above that, I would look for it to come up a little more. So far, floor is at 185, which is really close to that 183 number. 2.5 thousand is that all-time high sale. The team is really sharp, and I like the project. So it's really just a question of what happens. So does this hold that 183? I really wouldn't want to see it go under 160. Personally, I'd like to see it stay over 160, 180. And if it does that, then if it can push back over 200, maybe it can start to do something. But with any new project, a lot of times it needs to find its floor. So right now it did push up. It couldn't quite make a move over this one over here. And it's kind of just trying to find itself. So I'm thinking 160, 180 is a pretty decent area to find itself. If it drops closer to 100, it's definitely time to just buy it. But that's what I'm thinking on this one. Next is Safari Squad. Safari Squad also has a pretty decent team. They're talking about doing royalties and this and that. Right now the floor is at 89. Steel Society is also talking about doing royalties, but they were actually talking about that prior to mint. Safari Squad started talking about that after mint. Just to give you a little clarification on that. All-time high sale of 5,000 for Safari Squad. Floor is at 89. And right now, price is really trying to find itself. I would say it should stay over 70, 80 right now, ideally. So if it comes down, staying over 70, 80 would be ideal. Below 70, and it's just going to chop back around close to mint price and probably stay over mint price and move up again is what I would anticipate. But, you know, right now it can do a couple different things, and I'm not really a fan of the project right now. If it were to come lower, you know, picking up some floors wouldn't be a bad idea. But it is a nice project. You have 908,000 ADA traded already. It minted on the 3rd. So it's been open for 11 days. Almost a million ADA volume. Almost 1,000 ADA volume. Excuse me there. That's not bad, actually. So those are my thoughts on that. It does look pretty good. The ADA market overall, the CNFT market overall does look pretty good. We did get shaken up recently with the whole Luna news and the scandal. And that just tells us, you know, if you build something really fast and it's rushed, especially if it's backed by VC funding, there's definitely a chance it can fail. Definitely a chance it can falter. So that's basically what we saw. You know, I'm not a fan of seeing anybody that I know or have met or even have talked to or hear about lose money and, you know, just something happens. But, you know, Luna was a little suspect. I didn't talk about them, and maybe I should talk about things like that more often. I don't think I should talk bad about anything. That's just how I roll. But, you know, let me know if you think I should. But anyway, those are my top 5 in the CNFTs for the week. I like seeing Chilled Kongs. I'm a big fan of that project, and I am anxious to see where it can go. Steel Society, Safari Squad, also a fan of those projects. Not in Claypez, not in Balls Cat Rocket Club, so that's why I'm not speaking to that. Not good or bad. Just I share my thoughts of my experience. So that is what that is. Take it for what it is. If you like the video, throw a like. If not, throw a dislike. Appreciate your feedback. Have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around the crypto markets. Take care.